up and over the Andes once more. We're leaving the high deserts of Latin America, landscapes that feel more like another planet, and heading back towards Chile's coast. This begins the final leg of our Pan-American journey from Santiago to Ushuaia. After days in stark, unfamiliar terrain, we're rolling into a place that feels almost like home. Chile is about to turn the dial on earthly beauty up to 11, so buckle up and let's roam. Some roads don't simply exist on a map. They live in your mind, calling to you in your sleep, filling your thoughts at work. The Pan-American Highway, a road spanning the length of North and South America, a 30,000-kilometer road trip through more than 15 countries, is that road for us. Life to us is nothing more than a collection of moments, and we want to fill our moments with adventure. So for 18 months, we'll be driving south from Tucteacta, Canada, all the way to Ushuaia, Argentina. From the Arctic to the Andes, through deserts, jungles, and the unknown, we'll live and wander in our self-built adventure-mobile, seeking stories, chasing landscapes, and redefining what it means to us to be modern-day explorers. This is our journey. If there has been anything that I have learned about on this trip, it would be the infinite variability of landscapes in this world. Over the past few months, we've predominantly seen desert environments, but the colors, the mountains, the types of rock, flora, and fauna have changed constantly. And today, as we begin our climb over the Andes, we'll be thrust out into a landscape that feels all too familiar. We are leaving Argentina. We've only spent a short time here, maybe 2 weeks. Not enough time to see as much as we'd want, but we'll be back. So for now, take a close look because these are the last scenes you'll see of this beautiful country for a while.
Well, we just checked out of Argentina for the first time. And today we are taking the highest pass in the Andes, or at least the highest border crossing in the Andes. It tops out at what?
4,800 meters, something like that.
So we're getting up there. But we're also going to camp in the mountains tonight in no man's land, just because we can.
Just because it's fun?
Yep. And we've got how far to Santiago?
To Santiago? I don't know. 10 hours?
Yeah, okay, 10 hours or so. We're just, we're traveling pretty quick to get to Santiago. Betty really needs some repairs. She is just throwing codes like crazy. Our upper ball joints are pretty friggin' worn. She needs new brakes, needs an oil change, all of the things. So we're getting to Santiago as quickly as we can, stay there for a few days, and then we're going to head for Patagonia. Let's go!
Paso Agua Negra is one of those crossings that feels less like a road and more like an agreement with the mountains. Twisting high through the Andes between Argentina and Chile, it climbs into a stark, wind-scoured world where the air thins and weather makes the rules. This pass is widely regarded as the highest paved international road crossing between Argentina and Chile and tops out at 4,780 meters above sea level. Similar to our many other exploits at high elevation, at around 3,500 meters, we started to notice the van's lack of power, and by the time we were making our final switchback near the top, the van was once again crawling to the finish line. This pass is only opened seasonally due to high snow levels during the South American winter. Plans are for a tunnel through the mountain like many of the other passes, but for now, drivers must climb this impressive set of switchbacks. On the other side, the road absolutely plunges in elevation to the valley that leads eventually out to the Chilean coast.
into Chile! Woohoo!
Woohoo!
What do you think about being back in Chile?
What?
What do you think about being back in Chile?
The land of jumbo. What more could you want?
She's just excited for the groceries.
Yeah.
Of course. All right, we're gonna put a sticker not on a sign so that no one can reprimand us. We're gonna put it right here. It's a big post.
Where?
Anywhere.
We've been here.
Slow roomers were here. Come and find us. There have been quite a few people struggling on this side on the way up. I think this is car number 4 now that has their hood up or hasn't been able to move. Apparently we are not the only ones with altitude issues with our vehicle. There's another one. That's number 5. These are relatively new cars, probably like 2020s. But I think what's happening with them is because they're likely all coming from sea level, their ECUs maybe are just not able to keep up with the elevation gain, because I think this road gains elevation real fast. And of course it goes all the way up to 4,800 meters. So, yeah. But it's fun to not be the only ones struggling. Huh? Look at that view. Stunning.
done it.
Apparently, after the Buddha room, we are not done with the washboard. Come on, man. So amazing. Not bad.
Excelente.
Wow. Well, hello there, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Chile. First camp in Chile, second time around. It's pretty good. Super quiet here. This place reminds me of Abraham Lake in Alberta. And I miss Abraham Lake now a lot. I was like kind of in desperate desire of a nice cold place to swim yesterday, and when we got here it was just like, oh man, it's gonna be such a nice swim. And then we tried to walk up to the shoreline and nearly got swallowed up because it's all just like thick mud. And I'm like, I don't think I'm gonna swim in that. Yeah, anyway, we're going to the coast today. Meg gets a jumbo shop in whatever town we're gonna be in, and then we're gonna stay on the coast, and then tomorrow we should be in Santiago, and we'll stay in Santiago for a few days, and like I said, get some serious Betty repairs done all day.
Maintenance.
Yeah,
Not repairs.
nothing broke, but yeah, yesterday was bad. We got so many engine codes, and it's our torque converter failing. We've gotten so many torque converter codes, and
Solenoid failed.
yeah, the torque converter solenoid or lockup solenoid is failing. So, yeah, Probably just gonna milk that for the rest of the trip, and then see if the new owner wants us to repair it before they buy it, or if they want to repair it. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. All right, let's go to the coast. Goodbye, lake spot. Wow, it's so pretty.
So beautiful.
Well, that's one heck of a place for a border crossing. My goodness. Looks like we gotta wait. A long wait. Well, we're through. It took us just under an hour. They were all super friendly. That was actually a really pleasant border crossing. They did, however, take Meg's plant, which she's a little upset about. And
It was pretty thorough. It was our most thorough yet, I would say.
Yeah. But we're in Chile and we're gonna go to the coast. Let's go. Well, we just dropped off the van and it was a whole to-do. Lots of made promises, and then when we got here the promises didn't really work out. But we've managed to find a shop, do some work on the van, and now we're gonna go to our Airbnb and relax for the night because it has been a day. It's always a day. Well, folks, welcome to Santiago and our home for the next 3 days.
Like our many other city visits, our focus during our stay in Santiago would be on all the different cultural cuisines, craft beer, and baked goods we can consume while there. Our other priority, rest and relaxation.
Beer time.
Really going for it.
Really going for it.
We're having Syrian food.
Yum.
Turkish coffee and a baklava.
Just doing my work. All right, we are done here in Santiago. It's been 3 days of just kind of hanging out, recuperating, eating lots of food as you saw, but today we're leaving the city, finally. We never can really handle staying very long in a city at all. Yeah, I know I didn't really shoot a lot, but again, we were recuperating. It's been good not to have to record everything. So, let's go get an Uber, then let's go get Betty.
Yeah.
Okie dokie, we've done our errands, we're ready to leave Santiago. I'm just gonna throw this out here. For all of you would-be Pan Am travelers that like to maintain their own vehicle, grease seems to be impossible to find in Chile. At least like the tube of grease that you put into a grease gun, they don't exist here. We've gone to so many stores and there's been so many confused people looking at me like, what are you asking for? Even if I show them a picture, they're like, yeah, we don't know where you buy that. So,
And at the shop that we got the van repaired at, like they were just like, there's no grease or grease gun there.
Like,
what?
Do people not grease their U-joints and ball joints in Chile? This is the most confusing thing that I've come up against in all of Latin America so far. Anyway, going forward from Santiago, our plan is to scurry on down to Puerto Monte, which is about Puerto Montt, that's what I meant. And it's about, what, 1,000 kilometers away?
Oh, that's
something like that.
14 hours?
Yeah, and yeah, we're gonna scurry down there just because the area between Santiago and there seems to be pretty well developed, and we're all about wild camping and big open vistas, etc., etc.
1,023 kilometers. Good job.
You're welcome. And yeah, that's just the plan for this week. Is just to move around. I know it's going to be beautiful. We might have 3 days worth of camping between here and there, and we're going to try and go out and see a spot or two, but otherwise, we're going to focus mainly on getting to Puerto Montt.
Yeah.
So,
we gotta start the Carretera Austral in 1 week.
Yeah, we have booked our ferry. Ready?
Yes.
High five. Let's go!
After 2 long days of driving on the highway, we had arrived in the Pucón region north of Puerto Montt. We had been noticing the changes in landscape and ecology as we rapidly traveled south. From the drier, arid nature of the land north of Santiago, green had filled in. Trees multiplied and became taller, and snow-capped peaks dotted the eastern horizon. Here on the side of this lake, if you didn't know you were in Chile, you'd think you were on Cultus Lake in British Columbia, Canada. We spent a day here soaking in the hot sun and freedom to cool off whenever we liked. I attended to some of the niggling issues on the van, including fixing our locks, which had been punched in and broken when the van was broken into a month ago, and Meg cooked up some delicious meals.
It's deep. I cannot believe it's been over a year since we've been in like a significant lake.
Yeah. Was it? I mean, I can't even. We didn't really swim in a lake like this in the north. It was too cold, right?
Yeah.
Just cold plunges.
Yeah, just cold plunges and rivers and stuff. What are we eating tonight, love?
We've got another little breakfast hash creation. It's got potatoes, onions, cabbage, chicken, eggs, with a little Parmesan cheese on top.
Wunderbar.
Just simple.
Simply wunderbar.
Simple eats.
And a fantastic view to boot. Can't complain.
I have spoken often of the interconnectedness of our world, how as we travel we're experiencing a mirror effect. It's something you might not see unless you've traveled a long period of time. And although we keep finding evidence of this mirroring effect in many of the places we've wandered through, we haven't yet tired of it. It still surprises us. It still gives us considerable pleasure to come around a corner and comment on how much this place reminds us of somewhere else we've been. It's yet another of life's simple pleasures that we are learning to greatly appreciate as we travel through this incredible world.
Well, it's come time to leave.
This wonderful lake spot.
Yeah, leave home, essentially. We're headed for Puerto Montt today. We've got 3 hours of driving. And then we're going to explore the Chiloé Peninsula for the next 3 days or so before scooting back over to Puerto Montt and taking the ferry to the start of the Carretera Austral. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So let's go catch some views, I guess, and see what this place is all about.
Let's just go straight through.
Yeah.
That is an amphibian, right?
Yep.
A few hours later, we had arrived at the coast and made our way to the ferries that would deliver us across the water to Chiloé Island. Seeing these smaller inter-island ferries brought us straight back to home, a place where taking small ferries like this is a way of life, an unavoidable bridge between small patches of civilization amidst the ocean. It had been a long time since we traveled with our van across the water, but the familiarity of it certainly hadn't faded.
You're on the map?
Yep, I'm on the map.
Okie dokie.
Let's go! Chiloé!
Our plan for Chiloé Island was pretty straightforward. 3 days, 3 different camps, enjoy the coast, maybe do a hike, and then leave when it came time to catch the ferry to start the Austral. No schedule other than that. Just enjoy the beauty of the Chilean coast.
Charming is how I would describe it. Charming.
Although we had arrived in the sunshine, as we approached the western edge of the island, thick fog closed in over the farmland, obscuring the sky and setting a tone of familiarity once again. It was like we were right back on the Oregon coast, driving through the sea mist towards the jaggy, sea-assaulted rocks that characterize that place. To be here in an environment that is perpetually damp from rain or sea spray after months spent in some of the driest places on Earth resulted in a deep and impactful sense of contrast. hello and good morning there, folks. We have arrived on the coast of Chiloé Island, and it looks like the Oregon coast, which is really cool. We're gonna bop around the island for 3 days, see what we can see, and then we have a ferry to catch to get to the start of the Carretera Austral. And yeah, it's funny being here. We're kind of in this weird limbo. Usually I have a pretty good idea of what the heck we want to do, but I had no pins or anything that I wanted to see here. And so we're just gonna roam around, find some nice camp spots, eat some food, and enjoy the coastal life for a little bit. And then, yeah, we'll be on our way. So let's do it.
There's zero. Banana.
We'd spend a quiet night here, allowing ourselves to be lulled to sleep by the unceasing crash of the waves on the shore, the waves accenting our dreams and joining us yet again in the morning. Before leaving the west coast, we'd make a quick hike out to a waterfall. Once we had finished there, we proceeded out towards the east coast, where we'd spend our last night on Chiloé Island before departing for the Carretera Austral.
Hello! That is really cool.
This week in Chile signals the true start of our final leg of the Pan-American Highway. From Santiago, Chile, we'll make our way down the Carretera Austral through the Chilean and Argentinian Patagonia before arriving at the end of the road. We are beyond excited for this stage. It's what we have dreamed of seeing since the day we came up with this trip. It's the last few months before we can turn around and point our compass north. It's the bittersweet anticlimax after a journey through 16 countries and some of the most challenging stretches of road we've ever traveled. We are ready for it, so let's go. Thank you for being here along with us on this journey. We hope in some way we spark your curiosity. Maybe you even learned something. At the very least, we hope we showed you a world worth exploring, worth protecting and valuing. Now, get out and go on that next big adventure. Make the memories that stick with you, shape you, and change you. Until the next one, keep on roaming. If you would like to see behind-the-scenes content, get route and camp spot information, or if you'd just like to help support us by putting some gas in our tank each month, you can contribute on Patreon or through memberships on our YouTube channel. And oh hey there bud, before you go, don't forget to go on over to slowroamers.com to get yourself some rad Slow Roamers merch. It looks real good on you, believe me. We've even got some new stickers and stuff in there for you. For additional photos and commentary on our journey, you can follow along on Facebook and Instagram. Well, Chilean coast, you sure look an awful lot like home, and we sure like it. We'll see you again next time. Okay, bye.